David Settle at Wyopreps.com here, and we're talking a little basketball as we get ready for the 2024-25 season, and we're going to chat with all of the defending state champion head coaches. But what's interesting about a couple of them, including the one I'm going to visit with here, is we've got some new faces in new places, including in Douglas, where they're riding a long winning streak, an undefeated season. They've won, six state championships in a row, and Kassidy Johnson joins me. Thanks for taking a few minutes, Coach. Talk a little bit about the adjustment for you personally going from volleyball to basketball. Now, I know that you played both in high school, but has that been a little adjustment for you taking over basketball?
Yeah, a little bit of an adjustment, but I will say basketball's been kind of where I felt most comfortable. So the adjustment itself and kind of getting back into the game of basketball has been comfortable, but the season's different, season's longer. It's just a different type of year. So it's actually been pretty seamless, and thankfully I have a pretty good staff behind me too that's been really they've been bought in, which is awesome. So it's made the transition really easy.
What's been the focus for you early on in practice here before the start of the season?
Yeah, I mean, we actually talked to Lauren the other night about this, about, coming into a program where you have some really solid girls coming back. It makes our job actually a little bit more difficult because trying to find a system that works for them and not changing too much of what they've already had and trying to learn that piece on my end so that they're still comfortable, but implementing some new stuff that, kind of make them more of a threat offensively and defensively. So trying to get in our system, but trying to tweak what we've kind of come into with Cody's old system and just making sure the girls know what's expected. And they've done a really good job of adjusting and buying into what we've been inputting into our offense and defensive system. So it's been fun, but basically just trying to get everything in before our first tournament next weekend.
Speaking of that, how nice is it to have such a veteran team? I mean, you got seven seniors, including a player who's going to be up for Player of the Year, regardless of class in this state. How much of a benefit is that for you as a first time head coach in basketball?
Yeah, it's a huge benefit, I would say, just because their basketball IQs are really high. So I can tell them things and they immediately catch on to it, but they're not afraid to ask questions if they don't, which is awesome. And for having Cody for so long, they loved him. And so coming into this program, they've been super welcoming, and it's been great because we've given them challenging things and challenged them a little bit on the defensive end, and they've responded to it well. So I'm excited to see how they produce on the defensive end as well as offensive end, because they are obviously pretty good at that. So
They are known for a lot of success. Do you feel
Mhm.
any pressure as a first year coach to kind of keep that, I guess, train rolling down the track a little bit?
Yeah, I think I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel any pressure with that, but I think the mentality that me and my staff have kind of tried to focus on is just taking it one day at a time. I mean, obviously the end goal has always been what it has been for so long, but just got to focus one game at a time and getting better every day in practice and making sure that we do our job as a staff to make them as good as they can be, whether that's keeping everything that Cody had or tweaking stuff here and there. But yeah, I feel a little bit of pressure, but I'm excited. It's a good pressure, and it makes me really excited to get games rolling and kind of start the season off.
Obviously, Lauren gets a lot of the headlines and publicity, but it seems like there's just more key parts that are there that maybe get overlooked by some people. Can you touch on just how those young ladies deal with having Lauren in the spotlight, but they are still able to be successful, Cassidy?
Yeah, I think obviously Lauren does get a lot of the attention, but I think in a way that works to our advantage because teams put so much focus on her. And we have people like Jaden Meyer, Bailey Wright, Molly Parker, Kale Starkey, and we have a bench we've got a deep bench that produce in a way. And when Lauren's on the floor, she helps them produce. She produces for herself, but she sees mismatches well. She gets her teammates open well. And I don't think they really focus much on the attention that any of them get from the media or from just different outlets. They kind of focus on what they want to do because they really want to win and they're competitive. And I haven't really seen any complacency from that. And I think that's been evident in the last run that they've had. They don't get complacent with a championship last year. Like they want to continue that. And it's just an overall team goal that they really try to strive for. And, Yeah, there are some stars, but I think it works in our benefit because we have other ones who will rise to the occasion if one gets shut down.
Well, thanks so much for the time. That's all I got for you. I appreciate it. And hopefully we'll catch up during the season, but best of luck.
Yeah, thanks, David. Appreciate it.